Hey guys, it's Petra, and if you don't know me, 6 months ago, I had a surgery on my spine that changed my life. I can't believe it's been this long, and I'm so incredibly grateful to everyone who's been with me along the way, my family, my friends, and also the people on YouTube who watch my videos, commented on them, asked questions, and a special thank you to everyone who reached out to me on Instagram. I'm actually friends with some of these people now, which is so amazing. This video is a little bit of a tribute to the original scoliosis surgery vlog, and if you haven't watched that, it will be up here in the iCard somewhere, so you can watch that. If you haven't noticed, I have moved apartments. This is my childhood home, or the closest thing I have to a childhood home. I've moved countries so much. But before we lived in an Airbnb, and now this is like our apartment in Slovakia. But yeah, now onto the video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about everything you'll need for a hospital stay if you're getting surgery. I'm going to roughly go over everything you should pack if you want to have a more comfortable stay. First, I'm going to talk about clothes and anything you might need to stay comfortable in a hospital. Personally, I was in my hospital gown 90% of the time, but this will obviously vary on what surgery you got and also how well your recovery is going. You're going to need a robe. I got a fluffy and warm one from Peter Alexander. You can see it in this clip. This made me more comfortable walking around the ward and not just in my hospital gown, but it also made me very warm. You might need a set of satin or silk pajamas. My surgeon told me that this would be a good idea to get because they wouldn't irritate the large scar on my back and they're really nice and soft. I got mine from Peter Alexander. This is them, but I also got the pink ones. They're my favorite pajamas and I'm obsessed with them, but obviously there's a million other places where you could get yours. You could also bring some hoodies or sweatshirts. You might need these if you get cold because it is a hospital, but these would be great if you want to feel more comfortable and you can wear them easily over your hospital gown. Next, you'll need some really good socks. After surgery, they gave me a pair of compression socks that prevent blood clots in your legs, and I wore those for a majority of the time, but I also put a pair of socks over them, and I recommend some really nice fluffy ones so your feet don't get cold, because on the bottom of the thrombosis socks, the ones like that prevent blood clots, there's a hole like at the tip of your toes, at least for me, and my toes got really cold, so I just put a pair of socks over them and that really worked. You'll also need underwear, but this kind of depends on whether you have a catheter and how long you have your catheter for. I had my catheter for majority of my stay, and after that I had no idea of what to expect at all. So after they took out my catheter, I did sort of go to the toilet normally, but I wasn't prepared, which is why you have this video, to be prepared. So just in case, bring some underwear. Finally, for clothes, you need an outfit for when you get discharged. My outfit for when I got discharged was just my light blue sweatpants and sweatshirt. This was really comfortable. I recommend something loose that you can put on easily. In the first few days after my surgery, I wasn't able to lift my arms to put on clothes, so I had to pick something very loose, and also it has to be something that won't irritate your incision. Mine is obviously on my back, and it really depends on where yours is, but yeah. Now I'm going to talk about everything you're going to need to keep yourself entertained, because you're not going to have much to do in a hospital room if you were on bed rest as much as I was. If you read, you'll need a ton of books. I read 3 books during the time that I was in Sydney, which was 2 weeks. I read It Ends With Us, Ugly Love, and Verity, all by Colleen Hoover. That's kind of when I was in hospital, that was when I started getting back into reading after 2 years. When I was in hospital, reading really took my mind off of the pain and how uncomfortable I was, and if I ever felt sick, I would read and it would make me feel so much better. So I cannot stress this enough. You might want to bring devices and stuff, but reading was so helpful. I can't even explain how helpful it was. If you're not a reader, I recommend finding a good TV show with a couple of seasons on a streaming platform, whichever one you use. But on Netflix, my favorite shows are Ginny and Georgia, Insatiable, and Emily in Paris. I think Emily in Paris is really good for it if you're in hospital. It's really distracting and lighthearted. On Disney Plus, I like American Horror Story, Grey's Anatomy, Only Murders in the Building, Modern Family, and Scream Queens. I don't know how it is in other people's hospital rooms, but my hospital room had a TV, and I don't watch TV with channels, so it wasn't really that appealing to me. But if there's a TV in your hospital room, then that's obviously also an option. Aside from all the other things that you might need to keep yourself entertained, I recommend a good playlist. Maybe make one on Spotify or whatever you use, titled Hospital or something like that, and of your favorite songs. I feel music is so distracting, and it was something I really enjoyed. I played a lot of classical music in hospital, even though one of my favorite artists is Lana Del Rey. But still, it really depends on how you're feeling. Just have like a playlist, or you can find a really good podcast. One of my favorite podcasts is Teenager Therapy, and they talk about a ton of like really relatable stuff, and I recommend that one. I listen to it on Spotify. Now I'm going to talk about personal and self-care products. Obviously, you're going to need a hairbrush, sanitary products like pads, tampons, etc. A toothbrush, toothpaste, and deodorant if you can't shower. You're going to need moisturizer. My skin got very, very, very dry in hospital, but that was after they took me off of all my like nutrients. So when I was on the nutrients, my cuticles got so healthy. Like, as someone that has like really bad cuticles, my nails looked so healthy. My skin was, I was glowing, okay? But then they took me off of them and I started getting dry. So that's what moisturizer is for. My favorite one is the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. I also brought a little bit of makeup and brow gel and brow products to hospital. My mom brought them for me, and this was something that I appreciated so much. You guys don't even know, because when I was in hospital, I looked like crap. Like, I actually, that was the lowest point in my life. And doing like a little bit of makeup, like doing my brows, made me feel, oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. Doing my brows made me feel a little bit more like myself, because I don't want to scare anyone that's gonna have surgery, but like, I couldn't relate to anyone. When I felt so alone because I didn't know anyone else that had surgery, and now I have a really big community with friends on Snapchat. We have a scoliosis group chat, and yeah, but I feel like doing my makeup made me feel a little bit more like myself. If you do bring makeup, don't forget to bring makeup wipes or micellar water or whatever you use to remove your makeup, because the last thing you want is like an eye infection from your mascara in a hospital. Like, that, you don't want that. So obviously, if you're gonna bring makeup, obviously bring micellar water. You should also bring body wash. I'm not sure about shampoo and conditioner, because when I was in hospital, none of that mattered. I washed my hair after I left hospital when we went to our hotel in Sydney. But if you don't bring body wash, it's completely fine. They gave me like a little thing of the Johnson's body wash that they use for babies, and that's like completely normal. I only showered once in hospital because I could barely walk. Okay, I had to learn how to walk again, and I'm literally not trying to scare anyone. I'm so sorry if I'm scaring you. You might not need to bring a body wash depending on your recovery. All of this is like sort of dependent, and it relies on how your recovery is going. The last thing from personal and self-care products, but not really, I don't really know how to categorize this, but I've heard that some people bring their own pillows. I didn't, and they did provide extra pillows for me in hospital. And also, I didn't live in Sydney, so I didn't really want to drag a whole pillow, and it didn't really matter because they provided me with extras. Especially if you're getting back surgery, it's really important so that you're comfortable, because you're lying on your back the entire time. One thing I did bring, and I've seen like so many people that were that posted their surgery sort of recovery on YouTube. I've seen a ton of people had plushies in their thumbnails, and I brought mine. My parents brought it to me when I was in the ICU. This is it. I've had it like my entire life. Every day, like, people are like, oh, you're a teenager, like, why do you still have a stuffed animal? Like, in hospital, none of that matters. If you have something that makes you comfortable, then bring it to hospital, because this, when I was in hospital, I found it very comforting to hold it like this. And it has like no more like cotton in the neck. But yeah, if you have a stuffy and you want to bring it to the hospital, just do it. Now on to other essentials and things that I didn't really know how to categorize. You're gonna need your documents, your ID, your clinical results, which is x-rays, scans, and then your medical insurance. I'm not entirely sure what else goes into that because I'm a minor, my parents took care of it for me. But if you're an adult, I'm sure you're aware of all your documents, and if you don't know, just ask your doctor. You're going to need earplugs or noise-canceling headphones, or like something that will block out the noise, because you are staying in a hospital, okay? And hospitals are noisy, especially in the ICU, okay? The ICU is so noisy, and I wasn't in a children's ICU. I don't even think there is a children's ICU except for like the newborn one. The noise, it's there. And if you want to get a good sleep, which I didn't that one night that I was there, earplugs. Like, if you have any friends or like anyone, maybe your parents or just anyone you know that is going to come visit you right after your surgery, ask them for earplugs or noise canceling headphones, because I promise you're probably gonna need them if you're staying in the ICU. If you're staying in your own room in a ward, I think you should also have either one of those, because for example, my room was next to the helipad outside, and every single night there was a helicopter coming onto the helipad and leaving, and it was really sort of annoying, and it's really noisy, so anything that will block out noise is great. Lastly, I've got electronics. I don't know why I put electronics last. I've got my little list here on Notion, and I don't know why I have electronics last, but that really doesn't matter. Anyway, you'll need your phone, laptop, iPad, whatever you use, or like whatever devices you think you need. And then obviously you'll need chargers for all your devices. In my room, above the headboard, there was like a bunch of plugs, and I just plugged my things into that. But if you want to have like your phone or whatever closer to you, like my charging cord isn't that long. So what I did, I just got a power bank and I charged it every night, and then I just used it closer to me. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post next. And also, if you have any questions you would like me to answer about scoliosis, surgery, or anything else, don't forget to comment down below.